Hello and welcome to this video with a new update on how my prana process is going. Um, some of you may have found me through an article in Kindred Spirit magazine. Um, that was really nice. They've published this article about my experience at the prana retreat, and the problem was that I had to send a copy for that article. This was about 3 weeks after I did the retreat, so I was really just only starting on this journey. It's now, what are we today? 12th of January, I think it is. Um, so I'm now more over 3 months into the process. And what's going on? Well, the shocking news maybe for some is that I've been eating. So I can hear you thinking like, wow, you're eating again. What's this? Is the prana process, is that stopped now? Is it all a failure? It's not. So let me explain. Um, Obviously I'm doing this completely non-scripted, so if it's a bit messy, then so it is. Let me first start by explaining living on prana. Living on prana doesn't mean that you're never going to eat again. In the prana community, I think there's some kind of consensus about 4 levels of living on prana. The highest one, the top level, level 1 you could say, is people that they do not drink, they don't eat anything. So they don't eat anything, but they also don't drink anything. They call this completely dry. That's level 1. Now that's really quite extreme in a way, and I think the consensus is there's maybe a handful of people on the planet that live this way. One being, I think, Victor Giuliano, I think some kind of Italian guy who lives this way. Menor, who I did a retreat with, he did this for about 6 months. He didn't drink anything for 6 months. So it's very possible, but quite out there, it's already quite out there, but to not drink anything at all is quite amazing. So that's level 1. Then one step under that, level 2, are people that you don't eat and you only drink water or tea, so you're not getting any calorie intake at all. That's already, at least you're drinking, so it's easier to hydrate the body. Then the level under that is level 3, which is where most people are who live on prana, or a big group, where you are drinking, but you're also drinking juices, so you're getting some calorie intake. And this is up to 500 calories a day, is sort of the consensus there, where you can say, well, actually I live on prana, that's so low calorie intake, that's not enough to normal science to live from. And then there's level 4, where you occasionally eat something. And people do that in different ways. Some people have a little snack sometimes. Some people have amudra. The woman on the who gave the retreat, she eats at weekends, and she will take a full meal, like a proper meal, and then during the week nothing. So then at the weekend she's at level 4, during the week she's at level 2, just tea, water. And most people do that for social reasons. I know that's why she does it, and so that's sort of the framework for this discussion. So I did the retreat. After the retreat, we were advised to drink juices, and believe me, you do want to drink those juices. And we were drinking about 1.5 liter a day, which equates to about 600 calories. So in that framework, we're then operating at level 3, and that is to stabilize the body. If you go straight to level 2, your weight just keeps dropping because your body is renewing itself. All the cells are going to go on prana, and that takes some time. But what happens is, so my last meal that I had was half September, and then I started just drinking, going to liquid food, and then juices the week before. So already at the end of September, I was doing basically the week before the retreat, I was already going to just juices. Then obviously I did the retreat in September, and then for 2 months I was only having juices after. And this is that time, it was actually advised to do 3 months, but in December, after 2 months, I started eating a little bit. Now the juices, are to get you to yeah, your body still gets some calories in. Your old, what they call the old cells, are still getting sugars from the fruit juices to function. All the new cells are going on prana, and the further you go, the more and more new cells your body gets. After 3 months, about 80% of your cells are renewed and are clean prana cells. So that's sort of the physical side of it, the body side of it. Your mind is a whole different story. So first of all, you start off this process. I'm speaking about myself now, but I think from talking to the other participants in this retreat, I think it's very similar for people what they go through. You start with a lot of enthusiasm and energy. You want to do this. So there's this mental drive to want to live on prana for all the good reasons. But then, you come back from the retreat and in this initial high, yes, I'm doing this. But as time goes on, then the other aspect of the mind comes in. What happens if you deny yourself something? If you say, don't think of a pink elephant. What are you thinking of? Pink elephants, right? And it's the same thing. So at some point your mind is going, I cannot eat, I shouldn't eat. And that's what happened with me. I felt that my mind was starting to fight and started going into a story of, I'm not allowed to eat anything, because that was the instruction. And of course, nobody, I'm doing this to myself. Nobody's forcing me to do this. But the moment when I felt like, hey, I'm starting to fight with this, after 2 months of not eating anything, you're really craving taste experience. Or me. I was really craving taste experience. Only having those juices, which are incredibly sweet. And these were just juices from the supermarket. So after some experimentation, I just had a tropical fruit from Lidl fruit mix, which had some pulp in it. And then that was sort of the mornings. And then in the afternoon, I had the grape juice from Waitrose, which is much more clear. And I would dilute it a bit because it was too sweet and also quite calorie dense. So I was making sure I was not getting more than 600 calories a day. After drinking this stuff for 2 months, oh my God, you get sick of this stuff. And it's so sweet. So you miss salty taste. You start to, the feeling of eating something, chewing something. And especially as I'm cooking for my daughter, so I'm preparing meals for her, and she's happily sitting next to me on the couch going, Dad, do you want a pizza? A slice of pizza? So you know what, I thought in December, this whole process, again, coming back to why to do this, is to get rid of the food addiction. And living on prana doesn't mean that you can never eat again. So I thought, I'm going to give myself permission to have the freedom to eat something if I want to eat something. And these were just little bits. So the cravings were for very unhealthy stuff. Fries with mayonnaise, pizza, this kind of things. Not some healthy salad. I didn't have those cravings. It was just junk food. Or my weakness is peanut butter on toast. And part of that is just habit. You're watching something on Netflix in the evening with my daughter, and it's just such a habit to snack something. During the day, very easy. Evenings was my weak time. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna have some taste experience. Now, then the funny thing happened was that the moment the first fry, yeah, really nice. The second one, yeah. By the fourth fry, I was chewing this thing, and I'm like, do I really want to swallow this? Actually, I don't, so I spit it out. Same happened with pizza. Bite of pizza, the initial taste is like, great, salty, different taste, amazing. And then straight away I couldn't swallow it. So then we get, so I was sort of doing this. Like I said, my weakness, peanut butter on a toast. Toast my stomach really didn't like at all. On a white bread roll, somehow that was easier. And then what started happening is that mind was satisfied, my body didn't like it at all. There's this real division. So I got penalized by my stomach afterwards. I was really happy to have this, after months of having nothing, to finally peanut butter taste. And I guess it's a kind of earthy kind of taste, which is the opposite of this sweet juices all the time. Yeah, my mind really happy, taste experience really nice. My stomach didn't like it at all. So I actually couldn't eat very much. Although there was the occasional binge eating when I had like two rolls of peanut butter in one evening. That's what we're talking about. And for me, that really felt like binge eating. And I sort of felt guilty afterwards, and then my stomach would go like, oh, what have you done? So I quickly learned to reduce this. And then we get Christmas. Now, Christmas was the time anyway when they said, okay, around that time, you're up to 3 months, you can start to experiment again. And this is about finding out actually how's now my relationship with food. Do I still want to eat or not, or how? You need to find that out. And everybody is different. It's a very individual process. Everybody needs to find it out. So for me, I quickly found out, well, I cannot eat full meal. If my stomach gets upset from just one roll with peanut butter, let alone putting a whole meal inside, there's no way. So that was a very quick conclusion. I cannot eat meals anymore. How a mudra does this, where she eats, sorry mudra, well, you don't understand anyway. Eating a whole meal at the weekend and then nothing during the week, I don't know how her body deals with it. My body, everybody's different. My body can't do that. So little bits are okay. So then Christmas time, lots of parties. I even threw a Christmas party for some people in my house where, I would have little tastes, which was really nice, but little bits, only little bits. And that was fine. New Year, I went to Czech to give a workshop there and spend some time. Again, having little bites of things. They have a lot of typical holiday season festive food, so it was really nice to taste this, but just little bits. And now I've stopped again. So now I'm home. At home, I sort of emptied what was in the fridge. I find it for some reason ashamed to throw that away. And now I'm back on juices with the occasional little something. But for a few days now, I've had absolutely nothing. And that feels really good in my body, actually, to just go back to just some juice. The amount of juice is now reduced already from, I was drinking 1.5 liter at the start. That started going as soon as I started snacking a bit. I could reduce that to about 1 liter. Now I'm about 0.5 liter of juice. But I will drink teas during the day with some with a teaspoon of honey in it, so some calories in that. But by now I've relaxed so much in this whole process that the positive thing about the snacking was that immediately I gained some weight. The body immediately starts storing it back, so I don't feel that that super skinny phase is over. There's a little bit of flesh on my skin. For me, I feel really like, wow, I'm really fat. It's just everything is relative, right? I'm still very skinny, but it's not as skinny as it was. That's nice. I'm not weighing myself because it doesn't interest me anymore. I'm so much more relaxed in the process now. The time when I did step on the scales, I was, I think, 54, 55, which is a few kilos down from when I started. I started on 59, this whole process. But I can feel in my body that my body is just really happy. That super skinny feeling is gone. Feeling really cold has stopped. I've got great energy. My sleeping has increased a bit again the moment you start eating, even if it was really little bits. I was between 4 and 5 hours, and that has crept back up to about 6 hours, sometimes 7 hours, but it's going down to 6 at the moment. So that's where I am at the moment. So has the experiment failed? No, actually no. And actually how it works is, and this is again, I'm learning a lot from all the feedback, the forum that we are in. I call this is the second phase. The first phase is the initiation process, and then you're on the juices. That's phase one. Second phase is that you start to eat a bit again, and sort of you go through everybody, when you deny yourself food, well, deny, but when you stop eating for such a time, it's very natural to want to have that taste experience again, to find out, do I still want it, yes or no? I mean, maybe for some people they just stop straight away, but that's not me. And I think the experience is most people have tasted into various degrees. So that's sort of phase two. Okay, I've gone through that, I have all the tastes that I wanted. And the other weird thing is that actually nothing really satisfies me anymore, taste-wise. I can't find anything that I feel actually that tastes nice and feels good for the body. Actually, my body just doesn't want it anymore. So now I'm going into the third phase, which is sort of the integration time, when you need to find a way. Okay, we've done the snacking, that's going back down again. Now, how do I want to proceed with this, and what works for me long term? I don't know yet what it's going to be. At the moment, I'm really happy to go back to just juice. I would like to, so that I'm back to level 3, let's say. Okay, occasionally I might have something. I will have a chocolate from time to time, or maybe something else, but not anymore how it was. I would like to experience to work myself up to level 2 and just completely drop all the juices, just to experience that, and just drink. Going completely dry at the moment doesn't appeal to me at all. And because I'm naturally skinny by build, do I want to put my body through this to go completely dry again? Not at the moment. I think I would first need to be on level 2 for a while, water and teas, and be really stable with my weight before I would make that step. But who knows? It will be interesting to experience it, because there are some things that happen then which would be interesting to experience. But for now, I'm at level 3, slowly working to get to level 2. And I'm so much more relaxed in the process. There is no ego drive to get there as quickly as possible. The mind, that's sort of fallen away. I'm going really slowly, really naturally. I want to do this. If it takes me 3 months to get there, that's fine. If it takes me 6 months to get there, that's fine. It's not a race. I want to enjoy this process and just slowly listen to my body. That's the key thing for me. I really need to listen to my body and slowly get cleaner, more purer. I do want to get back to the stage which I really loved, when I had so much energy and had only 4-5 hours sleep, and that was going down. That was amazing to experience. That was so amazing. So I really want to get back to that stage and feeling that good and so super clean and have so much energy and so little sleep is needed. That's what I want to get back to, because that will enable me to really pick up my meditation practice early in the morning, to wake up 4 in the morning every day and do my practice, which is Buddhist practice, hence the Buddhist painting behind me. I really want to get back to this. So whether I'm there end of January, end of February, it doesn't really matter so much. Take it easy. So yeah, I hope that explains, gives you a bit of more insight, maybe for the new people that have found me through this Kindred Spirit article. Gives you a bit of overview of the whole process. And yes, so I have been eating, and the process is very much alive. It's going, in my view, really well. I'm really happy with this. I'm really happy that I did this. It was really tough. Those first few weeks, the retreat was tough, but you're in that group setting and it's amazing. The first few weeks after that at home were really tough. Then it starts getting easier. It's an amazing journey. It sort of has become normal, but it's still, when I think about it, is like a miracle that my body is healthy and it sustains itself and I've got this energy and I'm not eating. And it's source directly feeding me. That is such an amazing experience. And it's giving such a greater connection to source, because literally the cells in my body are sustained by source. Source energy, prana energy, is entering my body into all the cells and is keeping me alive. That, that is so amazing. That is such a... When you really get that, that is such a beautiful thing, that we've skipped this process of, you know, the usual way of living. We need to put food in your mouth, chew it, process it. Your body then digests it and extracts the energy from that food to then sustain us. And of course, with the food quality is going down with all the modern farming ways, food is so processed. So it's harder and harder for the body to get proper nutrition. It's getting more and more toxins in. I've done away with all of that, and I'm now getting pure source feeding me, literally. I mean, that is such an amazing thing. And I really think, so the other impact of that is, think of how much, if you would talk about carbon footprint on the planet, this is such a leap. You know, we don't need agriculture, no chemicals for making all this food, no transporting all the food, wrapping it in plastic, then bringing it to shops, then taking it from the shops, and all that cycle is gone. Direct source nutrition. How amazing is that that is possible? And that is fantastic. And okay, but I think this is the future of humanity, absolutely. And yeah, I'm a bit I'm a bit ahead of the curve. That's usual for me. I'm normally about 10 years ahead with stuff that's happening. This might be 20 years, I don't know. In Holland, it's starting to take off. There's now about 50 people in Holland doing this. And the interest is really building, because people are seeing other people living like this. They're seeing it's possible. It's breaking down their mental barriers against this. Like, oh, surely you must eat, otherwise you're going to die. Well, that's not true. And the more people see this, and by getting in contact with these people, then it starts to spread out. More people are they see that they are thriving, they're healthy. So people get infused, and something resonates inside. And I think it's a really deep memory from the time in Atlantis when everybody was living this way. I think somewhere on a collective level, that imprint, that it's in our DNA somewhere, the memory that there was a time when humanity was living this way, high civilization. And as consciousness is rising, slowly we're getting back to this. And okay, there's a group of people like myself that is a bit ahead of the curve, but I think more and more people will follow this. And the fact that you're watching this video means that something inside of you is resonating with this, is interested in this possibility. And I always say, like, I'm a normal guy. I'm not superhuman. I just do certain stuff and I just try things. And then, you know what? It's working. It really is. And it's possible. So if it's possible for me, then it's possible for you. So anyway, I'm rambling on. That's enough for today. I hope you enjoyed this. If you want to do this process, Menor and Amudra, Menor is more and more taking the lead with this at the moment. They're running a retreat in Holland in April, in English. From April on, he said all his retreats will be in the English language. He's expecting more and more people internationally to do this. I can highly recommend it. So there's information on my website. I'll put a link under this video to the Facebook event for this. I can highly recommend it. So yeah, if you feel that this is something you want to do, April as well is a fantastic time because the light is coming back, it's getting warmer. You won't get probably so much cold issues like this group had going into the cold of winter. You're going into the summer, so a fantastic time to do it. So I can highly recommend it. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll give an update when it feels right. Thanks very much. Bye.